والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Today I would like to discuss the ways to prove beginning of the month, and that issue comes at beginning of every month, whether Ramadan month or month for Hajj or Muharram or any other month. And it's good to know what are the right ways that we make sure we are certain that beginning of the month is clear and the moon is sighted. It is issue 1739 of توضيح المسائل. Method of ascertaining the first day of a month. So the first day of a month is established in the following 4 ways. First, if a person himself sights the moon. Now the first way, if somebody himself see the moon. You know, the crescent at the beginning of the month is very small, and its enlightened part may be 1/3 or 1/2 of the circle of the moon. So if somebody himself knows the place of the new moon, where is it, how far it is from the sun, what is the angle with the sun, how much is its height, so he can sight its place. If the moon is there, if it is there, possible to be seen, then he can see it. And if he saw it and he is sure 100% that he has seen the moon, then for him it is wajib, obligatory to work according to his own knowledge. What I mean, if in a country, in an area, nobody has seen the moon due to any reason, and I have seen the moon, and I am sure 100% that what I have seen was a moon, a new moon, not that I am mistaken, 100% I am sure, then I will follow my own view. I don't care for others, because to me it is approved. But here it has to be proved 100%. Sometimes people, when they look to the moon and they imagine in their eyes, they need to see a crescent, because they have shape of the moon is a crescent in their mind. So he will look, think, and by thinking, sometimes he can imagine certain things that he say, well, that is the crescent, maybe the moon. Well, sometimes if there is a cloud, in between 2 layers of a cloud, if there is separation, then something like a moon will be formed, and that is a mistake. Sometimes there is a hair in the eye and it looks like the moon, so he see it and he think he has seen the moon, which is not the moon. It is a mistake. So these are practical mistakes people do. So it is said that if you really saw the moon, first of all, you wipe your eyes just to make sure there is no hair, nothing in your eye. You turn your face right and left and go back again to the same point and try to be sure that there is, what you are seeing is really the moon, not something else. So if you, with all those conditions, are certain that what you are seeing is the moon, then the moon is sighted for you. That tomorrow is Eid, or tomorrow is beginning of the month. Now suppose other people, nobody other than you have seen the moon, suppose, and then the people cannot follow you alone, they need 2 just people, for example, and the people say, no, tomorrow is not Eid, but for you it is Eid, then you have to break the fast, because you are certain you have seen the moon. So it is sighted for you. But as I said, You have to be certain, 100% sure. Sometimes people say, yes, I have seen the moon. When you argue with them, how much percentage you are sure you have seen the moon? He said, well, 80% I have seen the moon. 80% is useless. You cannot be a witness with 80%. Witness means you have seen 100%. You are sure about it, certain about it. Not sure, even certain, higher than assurance. So that is the first way, if one sees the moon himself. The second way, if a number of persons confirm to have sighted the moon and their words assure or satisfy a person. Similarly, every other thing which assures or satisfies him about moon having been sighted. Now here, you see many points are mentioned if we study what is said here. Said, if a number of persons confirm. Now who are those number of persons that their words assure or satisfy a person? Well, assurance and satisfaction, according to Ayatollah Sistani, is not necessarily that you are certain 100%. If many people, you trust them, they say that we have seen the moon and the moon is sighted, and if you are assured, not necessarily 100% certain, maybe 95%, 96, 97%, you are certain that what they say is right, then you can follow. Here, he said assurance is sufficient, one. And then that group of people should have seen the moon. Now, not one person, people, different areas, different localities. Few people in this city, few people in another city, few people in the third city. They are not linked together. They are not in one area to say they were wrong, they had done a mistake. Or they made a plan together that, okay, we 10 people, we announce so that everybody will make it tomorrow Eid, for example, of our announcement. So you say, well, these 10 people, they made a plan and we cannot trust them. No, it is not like that. Sometimes propaganda of the governments. The government wanted to prove that tomorrow is Eid for any reason, any political reason. Or to disapprove that tomorrow, because another government made it tomorrow, so they have to differ with them, so they made it day after tomorrow, for example. So here, you know, those who come as a witness are not to be trusted, you know, because there are political game. So all those points have to be taken into consideration. If after all that, you see that, no, those people whom you know are good people and they are in different areas, different cities, different places, and I don't think they are having a plan or so on, so I trust what they say. So in that case, if I got, let us say, 95, 96, 97%, what to say, itmi'nan, assurance, it is sufficient. Literally, I cannot say 100% the moon is sighted, but if I'm assured about their witness and their description, then it is sufficient. So that is the second way, but he added to it, similarly, every other thing which assures or satisfies him mean the person, the individual who is mukallaf, about moon having been sighted. Now, not many people, but I am sure the moon is sighted because of some other ways. Other ways, let us say now, during to astronomy that they show us, and they said the moon, its size is big, it is enlightened and can be seen easily, but by chance it was rain in my town. So we could not see it because there is raining and nobody saw the moon in my town. But I am sure the moon is sighted because it is said to be there. Well, sometimes I trust my brother, for example. My brother is one witness, not two, just he is one. But I trust his view very well because I know he is very exact. If he is not sure he has seen the moon, he will not claim that he has seen the moon. So I am getting satisfaction because of him. Or there is a alim in the area, and I asked him, what do you say about the moon? He said, well, I did research, and I asked many people, and I get many calls, and then I know the situation of the moon from the cosmic point of view. So he is sure. My assurance is not that I hear there are 10 witnesses there or 2 just witnesses are there. I don't know all those details. I trust him, and I say this alim, this religious person in this town, he is usually exact. If he has not confirmed sighting of the moon, he will not talk without being sure about it. I know him. Well, some of them may not be, so I cannot trust. Not blindly we trust everybody. But some of them are trustworthy. So now I get assurance of his word. So he said to someone. So that is why he said, similarly, every other thing which assures or satisfies him about moon having been sighted. So this is the second way. Third, if 2 just adil persons say that they have sighted the moon at night. Now, if we have a situation where there are 2 just people and they confirm that we have seen the moon and we here testify that we have seen the moon, and I trust them, and I know that they are just, they are religious, they are good people, they are pious. If they have not seen the moon, naturally they will not be a witness. They are God-fearing people. So I follow them because 2 just people, we say, is hujjah shar'iyya, means proof, a religious proof that we can follow it. In the day of judgment, if Allah tells me that why you break your fast, for example, and decided that it is Eid, I say, Ya Allah, there are 2 just people who said they have sighted the moon. So I am following 2 just people, which is hujjah shar'iyya. The first day of the month will not be established if they differ about the details of the moon. This difference can be either explicit or even implied. For example, when a group of people goes out in search of a new moon and none but 2 adils claim to have seen the new moon, though among those who did not see there were other adils equally capable and knowledgeable, then the testimony by the first 2 adils will not prove the advent of a new moon. You see, this is a very important point which is mentioned here. Sometimes 100 people, 200 people, they will go to a mountain, to a high place, to a building, and they look to the place where the moon is expected. Look to the west and see where the moon is expected. And among those 100 people, there are maybe 7, 8 people who are adil also, and their vision is good. Not that some of them have weakness, some of them have normal eye. No, they have normal eye and normal vision. 2 of them, they said, I have seen the moon. That is the moon. Look to it. You see, I have seen it. That is the moon exactly here. it is on the right side of the sun, for example, or left side, and it is like this, it is so much height. All other people are there. They also look to the same place and see there is no moon. So here, we say Mu'arid, there is contradiction. Two said we have seen the moon. Another two, they look to the same place and they say we have not seen the moon. So now here we cannot follow the view of those two. Though they are adil, they are just, but we cannot follow them because their view is being antagonized with the view of another two just people who look to the moon. Their vision is normal. They are equally good like them to see the moon, but they have not seen the moon. So you see, that is the case. That is why usually when there is a testimony, when somebody comes and says that I have seen the moon, we ask him, where you seen the moon? He said, I was on the roof of my house, for example. Where others would do, yeah, all my brothers and friends, you know, we were 10, 15 people were together. Okay, others have seen the moon like you or only you? He said, no, only me. So here you cannot trust that. If you have seen the moon, why not you show it to others and others have a normal eye like you? They should have seen it like you. But if he said that I have seen the moon and I show it to my brother said yes, and there was another colleague and he said yes, and the third one. So 4 people we have seen the moon, for example. Then here we get more assured that what he has seen is most probably it was the real moon because other 3 people have seen it with him, for example. So there is no antagonism in the view. Another way of antagonism is what? Now, 4 just people will come. 2 of them will say that we have seen the moon, for example, 20 minutes after sunset, and it was on the right side of the sun at the corner of, let us say, about 20 degrees. Now the other 2, they said, no, we have seen it on the left side of the sun, not on the right side of the sun. Now, is what they say is the same? Who is right, who is wrong? We don't know. Because they are antagonizing each other. One group will say it was very low, about 1 meter height from the horizon. Another one said, no, I saw it very high, about 4 or 5 meters, very high. Now, these 2 are just, other 2 are just. But they are antagonizing, so we cannot trust their view. One said it was 3/4 of the moon enlightened. And one said, no, it was 1/3 of it, or maybe 1/4 of it, very faint. So naturally what they have seen is not the same. So you see, when they come as a witness, we say you have to question the witnesses. And questioning the witnesses is like the court when the judge question those who claim. What is your claim? What do you say? He questioned him. Exactly like that. So usually if we are at a place and one comes and he says, I have seen the moon, you say, okay, sit alone, not all of them together. One by one they enter. You sit, okay, we write. When you have seen the moon, he said 20 minutes after sunset. First time I saw the moon, 20 minutes after sunset. Was it on the right side or left side? He said, for example, on the right side. Was it high or low? It was high. The curve of the moon, was it's back to the sun, or it's front to the sun, or it's above the sun? How it was, how you have seen it? Then we write. How much of it was enlightened, how much not? Then we write. So we write all his evidences. He described it, we write it. And then when I ask him, are you certain that you have seen the moon? He may say yes. Sometimes he said, well, I am sure, not certain, but not sufficient. We need somebody certain 100%. A witness has to be certain 100%. Okay. If nobody have seen the moon, will you break the fast tomorrow? Because for you is Eid, you have seen the moon. If he is certain, he said, yes, if that's my duty, I will break. I don't care for people. I have seen it, I am certain 100%. So now you know he is certain, really. If he is not certain, say, well, no, I can't. You know, if all people are fasting, I cannot depend on my eye. So why, if you are sure? Say, no, well, I'm sure, but I'm not 100%. So you see, when you question him, you know how much he is certain about what he has seen. It's not haphazardly, oh, somebody saw the moon, yeah, it's okay. Congratulations, tomorrow Eid. There are 5 people have seen the moon, and it is okay. Tomorrow is Eid. That is not the way. 5 people, yes. We have to question the 5 people. If somebody say it was high, another one says it was low, one says on the right side of the sun, one says on the left side, one said is lighting 3/4, one said is 1/4. What they have seen is not the same. So we cannot trust them all, you know. And if in that town, people usually go to see the moon, and 1,000 people, for example, in the Muslim countries, maybe 10,000 people will go. And out of 10,000, only 5 people, they claim to have seen the moon. We cannot trust them. Why not? Others also have seen the moon. So there is a mistake. Only 5 people in this area, in one area. Well, all areas of the city, people were looking. Now, in areas, let us say in America, for example, where not many people know the place of the moon, not many people goes, the situations of the weather is not always clear, sometimes cloudy, pollution of the air is too much. Okay, and well, maybe in any city, 10, 20 people maximum will go to see the moon if they know the place. So out of 10, 20, if 2, 3 people saw it, fine. You get assured because you know them. But in a country where thousands of people will go, for example, near the sea level, seaside, they go and they see, and it was clear, and then nobody claim, only 2 people claim out of so many people, then you cannot trust. You see, there is antagonism because others looked to the same place and they have not seen the moon. So you see how delicate is the case, you know. We cannot go just blindly. You know. Well, it is said in such and such city, 5 people have seen the moon. They are good people. Fine. First of all, we have to ask, are they just or not? If they are not just, are they trustworthy or not? Because sometimes people come, you don't know them. Sometimes you know them, they may not be just, but they are trustworthy. They are not a liar. They are not making a joke. They are not teenagers who want to make a fun, for example. I don't know, the alim, the religious scholar in that area, he knows the people. So he's saying, well, no, I know these people. They are very trustworthy. They are good. They are not, okay, they are not adil, maybe, but they are trustworthy. So he say if, for example, if they say 15 people have seen the moon in this area. So the first question, how many are just? You may say 1 or none. Okay, how many are trustworthy? Say maybe 4, 5. The rest are general, I don't know. But at least 5, for example, trustworthy. Okay. Now the other question will come. Have you made survey about their evidences, that their evidences are the same or not? 5 people are trustworthy, fine. But have you questioned them and see what they say is similar, or what each one of them claim maybe differ with the other? 2, 3 said it was on the right side of the sun. Another 2, 3 said on the left side. 2, 3 will say it was very high. Another 2, 3 said it's very low. So now you cannot depend on that. So you see that sighting the moon, how it takes time, and one has to be exact because you are telling thousands or millions of people to break the fast, for example, and tomorrow Eid, unless you are sure with a proper way and proper questioning, then how come you claim, yeah, okay, 5 people came, you say, okay, that's okay. Make salawat and that is finished. No, that is not the right way. So one has to question and to make sure. And then what about other areas? Why only 10 people? That mosque is the only mosque in that area. Okay, you say the mu'minin came to that mosque. Or there are 20 mosques. And people in 20 mosques, all of them, they go to the minaret, for example, or to the mountain, or near the seas, or wherever, or in the desert, for example. It depends on the area and city where the sunset can be seen clearly, the horizon can be seen. So what about others? You say, no, here nobody cares. Fine. If 5 people in an area who are trustworthy and their evidences all are equal, and they have seen the moon, and let us say, scientifically speaking, it is possible to be seen in that area if the weather conditions are good, you get assurance. Fine. But if so many mosques they have gone, nobody have seen the moon, and only 2 people here have seen the moon, then you may not be assured of it. So you see the situation is what is mentioned here. I will read it again. You see, the first day of the month will not be established if they differ about the details of the new moon. Details of the new moon means the height, the size, how much is enlightened, the area, and so on. This difference can be either explicit or even implied. It depends. And then he said if there are a group of people coming, 2 saw it and others have not seen, then we cannot trust them. Okay. Now we come to number 4. If 30 days pass from the 1st of Sha'ban, the 1st of Ramadan will be established. And if 30 days pass from the 1st of Ramadan, the 1st of Shawwal will be established. I mean, passing away of 30 days for the previous month, because we know the lunar months are not more than 30 days, either 29 or 30 days, the lunar months. So if beginning of the previous month, let us say month of Sha'ban, beginning of Sha'ban was properly established. And when it comes to the end of Sha'ban, if it is not seen and 30 days passed, then naturally 31st is the first of the next month, month of Ramadan. There is no 31st day. So 30 days passed, next day is 1st of Ramadan month. But if there is a mistake at the beginning of the month, they started 1 day earlier and it was not cited, so naturally here you don't know when 30 days of Sha'ban has passed. Because beginning of the month, by mistake, 1 day or 2 days, sometimes by mistake they go earlier. So here again you cannot trust that way. So you need to know exactly beginning of, let us say, Sha'ban, in order to say, okay, 30 days has passed. You need to know exactly beginning of Ramadan month in order to say, okay, 30 days of Ramadan has passed and now the day after is 1st of Shawwal. It is the 8th day. But if you are not sure of the beginning, then you cannot say 30 days pass. It may be 28 days pass and you are counting 2 days earlier. And it happens, you know, some people count 1 day or 2 days earlier, unfortunately. Even what you see in Arab countries, sometime between one country and another country there are 2 days, you know, a difference. So that is possible. Then here you cannot say 30 days passed. 30 days of what? We should confirm beginning of the month and they say, okay, 30 days has passed. So again, that has to be understood in this way. Issue 1740, the first day of any month will not be proved by the verdict of a mujtahid, and it is better to observe precaution. Now, what does it mean? Sometimes the mujtahid, which we say the hakim shara, the one who have, let us say, the judge who has religious authority. A mujtahid is like a judge, has a religious authority. If we say hakamtu, I give a verdict that tomorrow is Eid, is that have value for me or not? Some of the ulama said yes, because a judge, a mujtahid, like a judge, when he says that tomorrow is Eid, we should follow his verdict. Others said no, in moon sighting, his verdict has no value, because moon sighting is a cosmic phenomena, and whether sighted or not has nothing to do with the mujtahid. So it will not be proved by his verdict, but should, yes, maybe with his verdict I get assurance that unless he is sure, otherwise he will not give fatwa that tomorrow is Eid. So if I got assured, fine, I can follow him. If I am not assured, it is not obligatory to follow him. I should not follow him. So according to Ayatollah Sistani, as I said, other ulama may say it is approved with verdict of the mujtahid. But according to Ayatollah Sistani, said the first day of the month will not be proved by the verdict of a mujtahid. But he said still it is better to observe precaution. Well, you never know. Naturally, if a mujtahid said is better to observe precaution, let us say you travel, break your fast and come back. So if it was Eid, you already broke your fast. If it is not Eid, at least you were a traveler and you broke your fasting by traveling. So you are observing ihtiyat here in this way. Issue 1742. If the moon is high up in the sky or sets late, it is not an indication that the previous night was the first night of the month. Similarly, if there is a halo around it, it is not a proof that the new moon appeared in the previous night. You see, it happens many times. What is supposed to be the first night of the month, there is no moon. Nobody claims he has seen the moon. But next day, you see the moon is very high, very big. So people say, well, moon is so high, must be of second night, not first night. So is that a proof if the moon is big, second night? Or there is a halo. Halo means a circle all around it has light. All around the moon has light. All the circle has light. So if that is there, is that a sign that this is second night and nobody has seen the moon because of mistake or because of the weather? According to late Ayatollah Khoei, he said if there is a halo around it, is enlightened all around, it is a sign that it is a second night. But according to Ayatollah Sistani and other mujtahideen, they said no, it is not a sign. Whether the moon next day or what is expected to be next day is big or not, this is not a sign it is second day. No, it may be first day and the moon is big and high and the halo is round, maybe. Because if the moon is full from the previous day, naturally it will be big. So I'll give you some scientific reasons for it. See, if the moon is, let us say, big in minimum 12 hours or 14 hours, then it can be seen. But if it is less than that, cannot be seen. Sometimes, because it is near the sunset, you see the edge with the sunset sometimes is 7 degrees. It's very perpendicular above the sun. Sometimes it is 45 degrees away of the sun. Because light of the sun is too much. So if it is above the sun, you cannot see it, even if its age is 17 or 18 or 20 hours. 20 hours, but it still cannot be seen. Why? Because it is above the sun. So that night, you have not seen the moon, its age is 20 hours, for example. And next night, 24 hours become age 44 hours. 44 hours looks very high and big, but it does not mean it is second night, it is first night. In other months, what happens? Because the moon is away from sunset, so at the age of 14 hours, you can see it. 14 hours is age, and you can see it. Next day, 24 hours, 14 and 24, 38 hours. It is still not very big as 44 hours, but still it is second night. So you see, sometimes you say, how last month it was smaller and it was second night. Now this month it is bigger, so definitely it is second night. I say no, it's not definitely second night. This is not a proof. So you see, if second day means either the previous month was 30 days, so become second day, or 29 days become second, then doubtful, we don't know. But if it is not approved, we say, okay, it was 30 days of the month and now is first night. But then first night and the moon is very big. Say, don't be panic and argue unnecessarily. Say, oh, no, this is wrong, it is very big. Say, no, that is not correct view, neither scientifically nor religiously. It is not true. So big or not big, this is not an indication that it is second night. It may be first night and the moon is big. Usually when the previous month is 30 days, naturally, let us say, if the moon is for 10 hours, cannot be seen, and then become 30 days the previous month, naturally. So the month after that, when it starts next day, 24 hours and 10 hours, 34 hours, still 34 hours is big. But you can't argue that this is big. Sometimes bigger, as I said, maybe up to 44, 45 hours, bigger, and cannot be seen. Previous night cannot be seen, So that does not mean that this is a sign to be second night. It may be a sign of first night, and the moon is big. So always, this creates confusion in public. So how? The moon is so big, and you say it is first night, yesterday was not sighted. Say, maybe yesterday was not sighted, and tonight is too big. Nothing against scientifically. Because sometimes if situations are not good, even if age of the moon is 20, 22, 24 hours, sometimes cannot be seen. You see, that is possible. Because the moon is very low, and near sunset, and then sun's light is high, and it is above, and there are some other factors, to be there, So what I mean, you cannot judge it with the size. According to Ayatollah Ascertaining, is very clear also, size of the moon is not a sign that it is a second night. No, it may be first night and the moon is big. Issue 1743. If the first day of the month of Ramadan is not approved for a person and he does not observe fast, and if it is proved later that the preceding night was in fact the night of Ramadan, he should observe qada of that day. You see, it is simple. He said, if tonight, the first day of Ramadan month, was not approved for you, either you want to fast as a recommended fast from Sha'ban, or if you do not want to, you break your fast and you do not fast, there is no haram for you, because it was not approved, was not confirmed. Now, after 3 or 4 days, the people tell you, you got the news that some people here, there, they have sighted the moon, and later on, you got the news that the moon was sighted and there is no haram for you. What you need only to do qada of that day. There is no kafara, no haram, because you did not know it was sighted. Issue 1744, if the first day of a month is proved in a city, it is also proved in other cities if they are united in their horizon. And the meaning of having a common horizon in this matter is that if a new moon was sighted in a city, there would be a distinct possibility of sighting it in the other cities, if there were no impediment like the clouds. Well, because this will take a long time of discussion, I think it's better to discuss it in the next day, inshallah, and we complete this session. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi al-tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.